either yourselves or seeing your peers fidgeting with those new fidget devices, the spinners, the cubes, by show of hands? And how many of you have had to deal with other people around you using these fidget devices? So my name is Joe Cartin, and I'm here to represent Fly Charms, or First Love Yourself charms from Bridgeport Regional Aquaculture. So let's start with why do we fidget? Well, we fidget because it helps keep us calm, and it helps redirect nervous energy so that we can focus on what we need to be focusing on rather than being erratic. So right now, what's on the market for fidgeting does not solve that problem. What's on the market right now is obtrusive, it's one size fits all, and it creates a situation where you're not redirecting any nervous energy into something else, rather you're focusing on this new thing. It creates a situation where you're focused with both hands and your eyes on this new thing. So what do we do if what's currently on the market isn't effective? Well, fidgeting without fidgeting mechanisms is a terrible stigma around it. Usually, pen tapping, light tapping, chewing, and it just perpetuates the issue with those around you rather than solving the problem. So our fresh perspective is we are First Love Yourself charms, and what we've done is we've taken the idea of fidgeting and broken it down into its base components and put it back together in a way that we think is not only less obtrusive, but more effective. So these are our designs. They're all 3D printed in our CAD laboratory, and we've had amazing feedback on these, not only in their effectiveness, but in their ability to blend into any piece of jewelry, which is one of our original objectives. So on top of this, we also did aromatherapy charms made out of terracotta, and we did our own lavender and orange essential oil extraction in our organic chemistry lab. The lavender is because it helps keep you calm, and the orange is because it produces extra serotonin in the brain. So for experiments, we implemented these in a classroom at our school, a freshman biology course, and they scored an average of 16% better on a test that we gave them versus without these charms. So after this, we also had another teacher from our school come to us, asking us if we could implement these charms in her classroom for an observational study, and she showed increased rates of focus and less cell phone use. Then at a local middle school, we implemented these because they were having a problem with their fidget spinner craze, right? And they said that they had an amazing effect. So where do we go from here? Well, we've actually partnered with a company called Wear Your Label, which is a Canadian clothing line. They donated us $400 worth of shirts, Fresh Perspective shirts, which our whole team's wearing today. And we've had amazing feedback and interest. Our social and web media growth is absolutely fantastic. We've had interest from a clinical psychologist, and really the feedback's just been absolutely amazing. Hopefully we can go to even bigger and better things from here. So if you want to learn more, our Instagram is at fly.charms, our Twitter at fly_charms, or you can find our website, flycharms.weebly.com. Thank you. My name is Joe Cartin, and remember to first love yourself.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Questions?
Thank you.
Sorry,
Yeah,
distracted.
totally gotcha.
So you didn't want us to ask any question, right?
Hopefully you're preoccupied now. No, welcome to any questions. Yes.
Can you reflect on the sample that the people? Because I did see that you already use it on middle school, something.
Yes, we had
Can you talk more about the
right.
sample?
We had a middle school, right? And on that PowerPoint slide you saw like signs that were hung up, no flipping, no spinning, no fun. They've actually been banned in some of our local schools, the other tools like the spinners and the fidget cubes, because they cause a distraction, right? They draw all of your attention to it, and students see them as a novelty. So what we've done in these different classes is we've tested for different variables, one of them being a test, one of them being like cell phone use and attention in class, and then the other one was just a whole grade level observational study to see if they reduce the levels of distraction and rather increase levels of focus.
And what percentage of the outcome?
So for the test, the students we ran this experiment 2 times to obviously get rid of any lurking variables. And the students with the fly charms scored an average of 16% better on the test.
Was it the same test?
It was the same test.
Given, right after, or a week later, or?
No, we ran the test 2 times, one in different classrooms. We ran both of them at the same time, 2 different teachers, so that the students obviously couldn't communicate the test to each other. And after we'd taken all that data, we collected 2 sets, the fly charm set and the without charm set. And the reason for this is because we investigated into what's called recall failure, which is something that happens in the brain. It's the tip of your tongue syndrome. You ever had that feeling where you know something, but obviously you can't recall that information? And fidgeting and stimming, which is the technical term for fidgeting, helps combat that, and it helps relax you and bring you back in. So that is what to show for the 16% increase in grade.
So it's good, 16%.
Right.
But what about other? So this is yours. Do you
Yes.
test it in comparison to other fidgets? Like
No, that is where the observational study came into play. Not for testing the fidget spinners, because usually the teachers would tell them to put them away during class time. So rather, we went to the middle school for that data, because they were having a problem where all of the kids were having them. And we even had a teacher that said that once it was only 5 students wrestling for a given charm, that was not a distraction. But once it became 6 students wrestling on the floor, that was a problem. So basically, they were having an epidemic where students, fighting over these. So we came in, and they said that the rate of distraction among not only the students using our fly charms, but the students around those students, the distraction level was lower. Because the problem with the previous charms, the fidget spinner and the fidget cube, was that the student would use it, it was loud, it was big, right? So what it would do is it would distract the students around them as well. So the students, the students with the fly charms after this observational study, the teachers gave us back feedback on the fact that they were only one-handed, right, much smaller and less obtrusive, less loud, no noise, produced more focus in all of the students rather than just those using it.
how much does it cost? How did you
Yes.
produce it? How much
So
does
they
it
were 3D
cost?
printed. We used ABS, and we did this at our own school. So each given charm, the marble charms, which are our most popular ones, have a slight increase in production cost simply because of the marbles, but those only cost 43 cents to produce. The smaller charms, like the little figure 8 one or the cylinder one that rolls, those are only 12 and 14 cents respectively to produce. So they're relatively cheap to produce, so we could sell them off at even a small margin up to $1 would pay off 5 or 6 of the next previous charms to be printed. And we've had amazing feedback. A clinical psychologist actually emailed us asking if she could buy up to $100 worth of them to give to her clients.
How do you come up with this design?
So we came up with these designs. We did them in AutoCAD and 3D Builder, 2 different programs. And what we did is we saw the different methods by which people, fidget, right? The cylinder one, which I believe you have, right? Yes, and obviously you guys are welcome to keep these. The cylinder one combats, for example, a specific fidget that is common in neurological brain disorders, right? Like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, right, disease. It's what's called pill roller syndrome. So the cylinder acts as that little thing for the fidget when they roll their fingers or go like this, right? So it helps to calm and relax them. And that's just one example. The marble charm is inspired by a touchstone and the need to have something in your hand to play with. So that's just a few of the different designs. One of the ones that we don't have up here right now, if we can just go to the design slide, the one in the right-hand side, if you hold it up, it's meant to be pressured, so it's like a coin flip, so that you have tension and release. So all of these different ones combat different types of fidgeting needs.
This is all great stuff. I want to make sure that there's time.